practice number 12. Did you guys already find out who did tell you who won? No.
Somebody told us. Daryl told us the defense won.
So
Is that right?
yeah, I think the defense played really well today. I think the offense did some great things. The thing I noticed the most out here today in the scrimmage, and maybe I noticed it because we didn't have this music out here today, is our kids are doing a great job of communicating. Communication is so huge in the game of football, whether it's offensively, defensively, talking about splits, talking to each other. And if you can't talk to each other on the field, you have problems. You can't play all by yourself. There's 11 guys, and you need to talk. And I really was impressed with all the communication that I heard out on the field today. Intensity was good, and there was guys flying around making plays. They're having fun playing the game. I mean, I'm just listening to the intensity and the fun they're playing with out there. EJ, you can probably follow that up, but I really am impressed with the way they're playing. Obviously, it's the first day outside, and I think that caused our offense some problems. That's why I was happy to get out here today. I didn't want Highmark Stadium to be the first time we were outside throwing in the elements. Had a pretty good wind out there, so I think it affected our passing game. We had some things open, and I think the wind took some balls, but that's part of the game. That's why, you can't be playing indoors. We don't play the game indoors, so we got to come out in the elements, and I think it affected some of our passing game. But overall, happy with where we are after number 12.
Do you see some playmakers emerging on defense, Pat?
I really do. I mean, across the board, I'll start, inside with, I think we've got some pretty good defensive tackles there. Tyreek is playing really well. Daryl Render, KK, Taleni's playing good. I mean, we've got some guys really playing good inside. Juan is really turning on. I think having confidence in what he's doing, how he does it, and Roy Blair. So, up front and with those guys on defense and Freeze, Grigsby's really making plays out there and playing with a little bit of an attitude. I mean, he was another guy, I think, that was, was a third down guy last year, right? He's becoming an every down linebacker, not a third down defensive end rush guy. So, there's guys making plays all over the field. And, we'll see the tape and continue to get better.
With the communication you mentioned, I mean, was there a learning curve there as these guys learn a new system, new verbiage?
No question. There's a verbiage thing that we're trying to teach them to use. There's, you have to identify on defense. You have to identify formations. On offense, you've got to identify coverage. And you got receivers talking, pointing, blitzes out. You got a quarterback making checks. I'm talking the first quarterback, second quarterback, and the third quarterback talking and changing plays. And still get the ball snapped. With time on the clock. So there's all those things that I'm listening to out there. Even with one ear on a headphone and going, wow. Near the end, I'm kind of going. I had to take my headphones off just to listen. So it was some good stuff.
Dennis Briggs on defense. She maybe surprised you with how quickly he's taken to that nickelback spot.
He really has. I mean, Dennis is doing a good job, and also the corner spot. He's physical and again made some plays out there today as well. Mentally, he's still trying to figure it out. He makes, he'll sack the quarterback one time, and the next thing he'll be in the wrong spot. But he'll be a guy you'll be watching on Saturday afternoon for sure.
I'll
tell you that right now.
Anybody make any impact on offense today?
Say it again.
Anybody make any impact on offense today?
Well, Tyler Boyd always makes an impact. Rashid, I think, ran the ball well. We held out James, just precaution. He's fine. He could have went, but a little bit banged up. And save him up a little bit. He'll go next Saturday. I promise you that. But it was good to get a look at some of those other backs. But I think the long run. We had the long run. There's one big run.
I was escorting the media.
37.
Olison.
Yeah, Olison had probably a 60-yard run. Probably was the only big run of the day on the defense. And I think Chad ran the offense well. Just didn't throw it again. I think the wind had some effect on some balls today. So we'll hopefully get out here. Hopefully that rain, stays away this week.
Will Dantes be back next week?
Yeah, Dantes will be back. He was here all day yesterday. Had a personal thing he had to take care of today. So.
Weather permitting, will you try to be outside again this week?
Like I want to be out last week too. But if it's like this, or even as long as the sun's out and the fields aren't wet, I want to be outside.
Chad didn't want to tell us too much, but he said he was particularly impressed by Challingsworth and Ford's place. Was he another guy who was, sort of stepping up today?
There's a lot of guys. Like I said, I can pull the roster out and give it to him. There's guys making plays down the line. Dantes has had a so far, and Challengeworth, I mean, they've all done a nice job.
How important is it to do things like the blue jerseys thing, like just to sort of spark some competition in these practices?
I think you got to play for something. If you're just going out to practice, there's nothing you want, nothing you're striving for. So, then really, the defense got up on the offense, and then we had some opportunities on a short field offensively that we got to take advantage of to win the game. And the offense had a chance to win the game late, and we couldn't pull it out. The defense stepped up and played with some emotion, and that's what it's all about.
Is that the goal line stand that they were telling us about today after practice?
I don't know if it was a goal line stand. I don't think they got close. I mean, they were down in the red zone, put it that way.
Okay.
We ended the scrimmage in the red zone. They got the ball at the 21-yard line, both the ones and the twos, and some guys made some plays and some guys did.
With the defensive struggles last season, does that make it even more important that they're succeeding so far in practices?
Yeah, I think so. I think anytime, I think the offense has confidence, and I think there was maybe a little bit lack of confidence on defense when we got here, and so obviously you want everybody to feel good, and and it's a two-way street. But yeah, I do think the offense is playing against a good defense too. That I don't see them being, they got to make plays, and together, I think it'll be a solid look.
Coach, thank you guys.